The Treehouse Foundation is a nonprofit organization that aims to restore and strengthen the health and well-being of children and youth placed in foster care. Well, joining me today to talk about this is Pamela Lumpkin, Treehouse parent, Kerry Homstead from the Treehouse Foundation. And I love how you guys are re-envisioning the sense of foster care in America. Kerry, start us off with what exactly does the Treehouse Foundation do when it comes to re-envisioning foster care here in the Springfield area?
The Treehouse Foundation was founded by Judy Cockerton, who became a foster and adoptive parent and saw the need to re-envision foster care, to bring more resources to children instead of having children assigned to agencies to be raised. And she often heard people say, gosh, I think it's great you're doing that. In other words, you're taking on a child, you're adopting a child. I could never do that. And that also prompted her to think, well, wait a minute, there's so many things people can do. We need people to turn around and come back to children and support them. So that's really the genesis of re-envisioning foster care. And the Treehouse Foundation has two major initiatives. One is the establishment of a multi-generational community in East Hampton that brings families who are providing permanency to children who've experienced foster care and senior citizens together. So it's kind of a win-win across generations. It's all about community, building community connections, lifelong connections, and creating a caring system of support, really that goes back and forth across generations. And the Treehouse community is seen as a hub of innovation. And then in 2000, and the community opened in 2006. In 2011, the Treehouse Foundation launched with area collaborators and partners, including community members we partner with. It's a really collaborative approach to change the re-envisioning foster care in America movement.
Now, Pamela, talk about how Treehouse Foundation has changed your life and what it's brought to your life.
Well, I came to live at Treehouse in 2006, so I've been there since then. I lived in Springfield prior to that. I had foster children, and when I heard about Treehouse, I was happy to hear that there was a community that would actually embrace my children and not label them as foster children, that we could grow up, they could grow up in a community where people weren't going to be like, the foster kids next door. So I think that Treehouse has brought a sense of belonging, a sense of hope to my family that they wouldn't otherwise have had just living in a regular or another neighborhood where people might not actually embrace, who they are as people and not label them as foster children.
Now, Kerry, the stigmatization that goes into foster care, like Pam was talking about, it's pretty huge, especially with foster children, what they have to deal with.
That's right. And it goes from school. It's horrible to be seen as the foster kid in school. We've been adamant, as Pam was saying, about not labeling kids because we don't think labels are good for children. But that's really because the stigma stays with you. So who am I? Am I a foster kid? I'm not a kid. And what does that mean? So it's a terrible stigmatization, and we want to change how kids are seen.
What would you say the transformation you've seen from one of your children that being a part of the Treehouse Foundation, this group?
My daughter, both my daughters, because I have two daughters that I've adopted, and I feel like they feel more free in connections with people, relationships with people in the community. I think that it's strengthening how they feel about themselves in order to have strong relationships outside the community. My daughter is a part of the Heroes initiative where she goes out and speaks where foster kids, children who have experienced foster care and adoption can let people hear their voice so their story can be told. So she feels like she has a voice. She feels like she's more than and not less than. So I think it's been all around just great for us to be able to be part of the Treehouse community.
It seems like she's passing on.
Yeah.
She's
graduating from school, and I'm happy about that. And I think that that's another struggle that a lot of kids have, being able to graduate and just make it just as much as another kid who hadn't experienced foster care. So she's reaching a lot of milestones.
Oh, that's great. You must be so proud of her. Kerry, quickly, as we wrap up this segment, talk about the conference that's coming up.
Yeah, so we would love people to come to the 5th annual Re-envisioning Conference. It will be at Holyoke Community College on Friday, May 30th. You can register at www.refca.org, or you could show up at the door. We're going to have an amazing array of speakers. We're going to have Bishop Martin from Possum Trot, Texas. His congregation came together, a very small town, adopted 71 children. So that's one story. We have people who are innovators in the field of child welfare who will be talking about any number of issues, all centered around best practice regarding how can we create permanency for kids, how can we create better outcomes, how can we improve state systems. Victoria Kelly, who's the commissioner of what it was our Department of Children and Families in Delaware, will be speaking about some of the change and innovation she's bringing to a state system, which is really relevant as we look at how can we make child welfare work, and also how can we partner with child welfare. It's a place for innovation and connection and networking. And I want to say that one of the beautiful things about Treehouse is that it's about collaboration. So to be able to work with parents and leaders such as Pam is extremely meaningful, and it's also how we're going to bring about change for kids.
Great, that's so wonderful, so great to hear. Thank you, ladies, so much. Carrie and Pamela, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.